I realize that, and your confidence will be respected.
Thank you.
You will recall when you first came here, it was suggested you work in the prison hospital.
Yes, I wanted to, but, well, you know what the other women are like if they think someone's getting preferential treatment.
Yes, but with B. Smith so ill, we could do with extra help in the hospital. Of course, you will only be assisting Sister Franklin. Would you be interested?
Yes, I would. Perhaps you could make it look like a punishment. If I were to lose a couple of days' privileges and, well, do a few menial tasks around the hospital, maybe the women wouldn't suspect anything.
I shall mention it to Dr. Kennedy. If he is in agreement, you can start work in the hospital right away.
Thank you.
All right, Doreen, let's start.
Oh, I don't know if I like this being famous stuff.
Too late to back down now.
Yeah, just supposed to make a speech or something. Try it.
Ladies. I'd like to say ladies and gentlemen, but I can't because there aren't any.
Yeah, where is Jude?
I'd like to unveil the drawing which won me an honourable mention at the Wentworth Annual Art Exhibition.
Yeah.
Thank you. And here it is.
Didn't you forget something, Gold? Mention discount. Yeah, I didn't recognise her without the uniform. Now, just what the hell do you think you're playing at?
There weren't very many. Like there's any naked men around.
Oh, your memory wasn't too bad, was it?
I didn't leave anything out.
That's enough, Edwards. Now, how dare you abuse my support by drawing a picture like that?
Gee, Miss Conway, I only copied the bodies from one of those art books you lent me.
You deliberately tried to embarrass both me and Mr. Fletcher.
I didn't. I told you
I've
before.
a good mind to have it destroyed.
Heck, you can't do that. Mrs. Davidson said I could put it up in here.
Yeah, and I've been getting the impression lately that Mrs. Davidson doesn't like having her orders disobeyed. Of course, the fella's ears are a bit big. Maybe it isn't him after all.
The likeness is unmistakable.
Well, she'd know.
You haven't heard the last of this, Burns.
Crikey, I don't know. You try to do your best.
What else can you expect from a screw? She ought to be pleased. I reckon you've got real talent.
Yeah?
Yeah. Listen, how about doing one for me?
Like that?
No, just a drawing I could send to my husband in Pentridge.
I don't know. You wouldn't want me to do that.
Look, I'll pay top dollar. You think about it, then name your price, okay?
All right.
You help get Lizzie out of a jam and you can do that little job for me. There's plenty of people got a use for your talents. Why waste them on the screws?
I really am very pleased to have the opportunity of working with you, Dr. Kennedy.
Do you know anything about renal disorders?
A bit, mainly through what I've read of your progress. You've certainly made quite a name for yourself in that field.
Well, it'll be good to work with another doctor here.
Well, I'm afraid that's not quite legally correct.
A pity. Being a prisoner doesn't mean that you're not a qualified doctor.
Apparently, to some people, it does. But I'd be glad to help in any way I can.
Good.
Hey, psst, oi, have you got me dead and buried or what?
We weren't even talking about you.
Well, you should be. I'm the patient around here, and I want to know when I can get back to my mates.
I'll be having a chat with you about that after dinner.
What do you have to do to get a straight answer around here?
I can take any messages for you to the women, if you like.
Well, that's something, I suppose. I'm beginning to feel as though I've done a couple of days in the pound.
I have never been so humiliated in all my life.
I'm sure Mr. Fletcher would see the funny side of it, and I think you should too.
I don't think he will.
Oh?
I would like permission to have the picture taken down and destroyed.
Oh, I don't think that's quite fair.
But surely you can't leave it there. I mean, I will be a complete laughing stock.
I think you are overreacting. I'm sure Doreen acted in complete innocence. And you seem to forget that it was your idea in the first place that the picture go into the recreation room.
Well, I didn't know then that I was going to be the star model.
Nevertheless, we have had trouble in the past by, as I think Smith put it, giving with one hand and taking away with the other.
But surely, in a case like
The
this...
easiest way to lose their respect is by punishing them unjustly.
Aren't you even going to look at the drawing?
Of course. And if I think it's really necessary, I shall have it taken down. But I suggest a friendly talk with Doreen would be the best way of dealing with the situation. You never know, she may have a perfectly acceptable explanation.
Here, B. Bought you some tucker. No guaranteeing you're going to feel any better after you finish eating it, though.
Yeah, well, I couldn't feel any worse. By the time they let me out of here, my legs will have conked out.
Have you cleaned the toilet, Peterson?
Yes, Sister Franklin.
Did you hear about Doreen's sexy picture of Fletch and Conway?
Yeah, I heard about it in the pipeline. Silly little bitch, jumps in feet first as usual and never thinks of the effect it's going to have on anyone else.
Oh, I don't think she meant any harm by it.
Doreen never does.
You should have seen Conway, though. She looked like she was going to have kittens.
Well, that's exactly what I mean, see? On the rare occasion when a screw tries to do something decent for us, why the hell do we have to go and stuff it up?
Come on, Smith, you'd better eat your dinner before Dr. Kennedy gets here.
I'll be looking after you again tomorrow, Bee, so I'll see you then.
Right.
Bye, Bee.
Bye. Hey, listen, make sure they don't pull any more dumb tricks, will you?
Sure.
Ugh.
Gushy job you got there.
For someone else, perhaps.
It'd beat working in the laundry.
I'm a qualified doctor. How do you think I feel cleaning toilets and taking orders from a sister?
Yeah.
In front of Dr. Kennedy, too.
Davo really flipped a lid then.
Yes, anyone else would have just lost 2 days' privileges. I got that as a bonus.
What actually happened with Davo?
Well, when she realized I had nothing to say, she started yelling at me about insubordination, and the next thing, straight into the hospital as a nurse's aide.
Well, you made things a lot easier for the rest of us. If you hadn't piped up, I think we would have all lost out.
Possibly.
Who would have thought it, eh? Dr. Peterson, the rebel con.
Oh, well, I believe in standing up for my rights. Not that we have too many of those in here.
We don't. That's why we've got to beat the screws any way we can. If you'd told Davo about Pal, she would have been out on her ear, and we would have lost what looks like being a pretty good lurk.
Oh, don't worry. I quite realize that.
I don't understand you, Doreen. Now, I went out of my way to help you. I brought you the books.
Yeah, I know that.
So why do you turn around and do something like that?
Well, I didn't mean nothing by it, honest, Miss Conway.
Well, you should think more about the consequences of your actions on other people.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't see any harm in putting Mr. Fletcher's face and yours on them bodies. I mean, after I'd finished drawing the bodies, I thought it'd be more lifelike if I put real faces, you know?
Why us?
Well, Mr. Fletcher's the only bloke I really see very much of, and you've been so good to me that I thought I'd draw your face as a way of saying thanks.
Well, I didn't appreciate it. And I don't think Mr. Fletcher will either. It was extremely embarrassing, Doreen. And I just hope that you are more sensitive to other people's feelings in future.
That dialysis machine is a little ripper.
They certainly help a great many people.
If I felt any better, I'd be dangerous.
Well, that's because your system's been cleaned out.
Well, I'm raring to go. Just say the word.
Cleaned out, I said, not cured.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, I've been thinking about that, too. I think I'd rather hand him a chips than have a machine running the rest of my life.
Oh, it may not come to that. It seems you've got quite a few remarkable friends. I believe almost all the prisoners have volunteered for donor tests. I've never heard of anything like that before. You must be very special to them, Mrs. Smith. It takes a lot of courage and love to donate part of your body.
Silly buggers.
We've done tests on all the ones who volunteered.
What'd you come up with?
Well,
Bugger all, right?
not particularly good at the moment, but we won't know till we get the final results.
When will that be?
Tomorrow.
And if you don't come up with anything, then it means regular trips to the kidney machine, right?
For the time being, yes.
There's no other treatment? Nothing else I can do?
No. I'm afraid your illness has reached a pretty advanced stage. We may not be able to rely on the dialysis machine for much longer. I can't lie to you, Mrs. Smith. It is serious.
Come on, Kate, you're dragging the chain a bit.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you had an appointment.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Last week she wouldn't say boo to a goose, and now she's getting cheeky.
Ta-da!
Oh, crikey, Fee, what are you doing here?
What do you usually come to the shower blocks for?